Okay, everyone, let's get started. This is Grant Watty, and I'm here today with my lovely partner, Christine.
Hello, everyone.
And welcome to the Million Dollar Marriage, our workshop on the 5 secrets to saving your marriage, even if your partner is checked out, moved out, and you're the only one who wants to work it out. Hey, thanks for joining us today. And no matter where your marriage is at right now, you'll see exactly how you can save your marriage and to create lasting love. And in this session, we're going to share with you the exact same strategies we've used in our own marriage and with thousands of clients. And we've got around 35 minutes. We're going to be moving quite quickly, so let's just jump right in. And my intention is that you'll walk away inspired with a step-by-step plan for saving your marriage and falling back in love. Okay, so first things first, who's this for? Look, even if you're the only one wanting to save your marriage, this is for you. And while you're a successful business owner, you might be a leader or a high achiever, your relationship is struggling. And you're in midlife, the kids are getting older now, and maybe they've left home, and you really want more connection, you want more love, passion, and fun. And you're resourceful, you're committed to taking action to save your marriage. But let me be clear who this is not for. And I want to tell you this right up front, that if you want to keep blaming your partner, you don't want to take any responsibility at all, if it's all their problem, then this is not for you. And if your relationship is physically abusive or if there are any addiction problems, then you really need to look after your safety and deal with these issues first before we can help you to create your $1 million relationship. But if you're serious about your relationship, you're committed to taking action, then we can help you.
And in the next 35 minutes, you'll discover the 5 steps to save your marriage, even if your partner's checked out, moved out, or doesn't want to work things out. A simple strategy to dodge the disaster of divorce, so saving thousands in legal fees and legal battles and all that fallout for the kids, and instead building a strong foundation that can overcome just about any challenge. And why therapy is the exact wrong approach. Focusing on past problems and the new way that we've designed and tested that absolutely transforms relationships. You'll discover the only rock-solid foundation for your marriage that will restore trust and create lasting closeness and connection, and how to disengage from that vicious cycle of conflict and stop walking on eggshells or sweeping things under the carpet, and instead build friendship and love. And how to create a crystal clear action plan with the exact steps to build a thriving, lifelong relationship quickly in less than 8 weeks. So my promise to you is the proven strategy to create love that lasts a lifetime.
Okay, so let me introduce myself and my partner, Christine. So we're known as world-leading relationship strategists. Essentially, we've worked with everyone, thousands of couples, from a king and a queen, a prime minister, to everyone in between. We've worked with couples to overcome any issue to create rock-solid marriages. And we've got a 36-year partnership, both in business. We had a small business together. We worked in leadership and coaching and in therapy. We're both trained therapists, and we've got complementary skills. And our approach is neither therapy that focuses on problems in the past, and nor is it just knowledge-based marriage education that really doesn't change anything. And nor is it the latest unproven fad. And there's lots of them out there. When you Google it, what we've created and tested is a whole new transformational paradigm to creating lasting love in as little as 8 weeks, based on the experience we've had in our own life and with our clients.
But it wasn't always like this. So let me tell you our story. You know, early on, Grant and I were happily married. We met at university and we loved to run, play squash together, go out together, and have lots of fun. And we have 3 beautiful children. We're working together. You know, people thought we're the perfect couple. You know, the feeling of being intimate and connected, that was totally us. And you guessed it, every day, busy, busy, busy with working and living and children and everything else. Maybe like you, we got really, really busy. And one day, the pressures reached crisis point. They consumed our relationship. Our business just took over. And, you know, when you think about what's brought you here today, you know, what is it that's caused you to lose contact with each other? Was it an affair? Was it neglect? Or maybe you just don't know why things aren't the same anymore. That's really common too. But you know, every cloud has a silver lining. And because of our crisis, a great mentor shared with us, this doesn't have to be the end. And that totally blew me away. It was a paradigm shift because I thought the sort of crisis that we'd had, our relationship was totally over. And because of that, I reflected on what Grant and I had had together in the early days. And I made the choice to be 100% committed to the relationship again. And because of that, we both reconnected. And we retrained in therapy and leadership and all sorts of other people helping space. We took the long road until finally we know with certainty what works. It's worked for us and it's worked for our clients. And it can work for you too. And that's what we want for you. If you follow the 5 simple steps that we're going to share with you today, what took us years, you can achieve in just 8 weeks.
Okay, so now let me check in with you and see where you're at. Does this sound like you? So perhaps you lie awake at night worrying with a knot in your stomach and you just can't get the latest argument out of your head about baggage dragged up from the past. Or maybe you feel betrayed, you're jealous, you feel distrustful, you're angry, or you just feel hopeless when you think about your relationship. And maybe you're more like roommates than a married couple. Even when you're sleeping in the same bed, you feel a million miles apart. Intimacy and sex, well, they're a distant memory. And you just feel isolated and alone. And maybe your partner told you, I'm not in love with you anymore. I need space apart for a while. That's common too. And you dread the thought of divorce and how it would hurt the kids, but you feel stuck and don't know how to fix things. That's quite common for midlife couples. And maybe you're fighting all the time. You're tired of the struggle. You've tried everything, talking to friends. You've Googled it. You've even done therapy, but none of it has made any difference and you've just had enough. Something has got to change, but you just don't know what to do. And maybe you're overwhelmed by all the stresses in life and you just dread that there's a knot in your stomach when you come home at the end of the day. You miss the emotional connection, the fun and the passion that you once had, and you just wish you could have it again. Now you're lonely, you see your marriage unraveling, you feel powerless and stuck, and you wonder how to fix your relationship, and you wonder, is it even possible?
And I've got great news for you. These things are just the symptoms. Most people, even therapists, just try and fix the symptoms, but that's really like putting on a Band-Aid. It doesn't get to the root cause. And the real problem is that you're missing the shifts. And the shifts do address the root cause. And they're the shifts that can actually literally transform your relationship. And the one thing that you need to know is that once you make the shifts, you'll have a marriage where you enjoy friendship again, connection and trust with your partner, where you both feel safe to share your inner thoughts and feelings. You'll generate a crystal clear action plan with the exact steps to build a thriving relationship in as little as 8 weeks. You'll realize that focusing on problems is exactly the wrong strategy to save your marriage. And the counterintuitive secret is to initially set aside these problems and focus on the positive actions to rebuild your relationship. You'll notice a new bounce in your step and more energy and better performance at work and in every area of your life. And you see, this is the thing. Once you get your relationship thriving again, everything else works so much better too. And that's what we want for you. And you'll do all of this while disengaging from conflict, dodging divorce, saving thousands in legal fees, while instead building an unshakable foundation of love.
Okay, so how did we discover these shifts? Well, what happened is we looked at our own relationship and drawing on our professional training and cutting-edge research alongside our work with thousands of couples. I've individually worked with over 10,000 individuals, and so has Chris on her own. We noticed that some couples just seem to struggle and they stay stuck in their problems, while others use their issues as an opportunity to grow stronger. We were really interested in what it took for them to change. And we asked ourselves, what's the difference between those that transformed and those that stood stuck? And when we looked at the strategies, we applied them to our own relationship and the couples we worked with. From there, we noticed what worked, and we literally cracked the code. We discovered that it's actually quite simple. I didn't say it's easy, but it is simple, and there's only 5 shifts that thriving couples make to transform their relationships. So there are 5 key shifts you must make to save your marriage and overcome any challenges to create lasting love. And I'm going to walk you through all of them on this session.
Okay, so here we have shift number 1, integrity. And integrity is absolutely the foundation of extraordinary marriages. And let me tell you that in our experience, integrity is the only foundation that works. And that's not only in your marriage, that's in every relationship and in life. And integrity is the foundation of everything that Grant and I do. And we want the very best for you and your marriage. So our whole program, this whole session, is based 100% on integrity. So what is integrity? The definition of integrity that we're using here is being integrated, being whole and complete. And if you connect that with the metaphor of a house, your relationship is whole and complete when all 4 walls, the floor and the roof are intact. Now, if you took out a wall, you lose integrity and the building falls down. Put that wall back and the building has integrity again. And I want to say to you that no matter how broken your marriage is, it can be repaired when integrity is restored. So let me show you this visually. You have relationship integrity when all your thoughts, all your words and all your commitments are aligned with your actions. In other words, what you say is what you do. That is integrity. So very simple, isn't it? But again, what is simple is not always easy. And betrayal is the biggest factor leading to divorce. And here we're not just talking about affairs, but any deception, any betrayal of trust and commitment. And I want to tell you that betrayal can only happen when your relationship's lacking integrity. So if your words are not equal to your actions, what you say is not what you do, then that's when betrayal can only happen, and that's when you're lacking integrity. But when you have integrity, trust can grow. Let me tell you again, integrity is really the only foundation that works. The thing is, you can't restore somebody else's integrity. You have to start with yourself. So the first step to saving your marriage is to start rebuilding your integrity by aligning your thoughts, words, commitments, and actions. So I want to pause for a moment and ask you, where are you at in your relationship? So if you're rating yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is you are out of integrity and 10 is you have 100% integrity, where would you rate yourself? Now I want you to be totally honest so you know where you're at. And of course, anything less than 10, you have the opportunity to build a stronger foundation. So now let's move on and look at the second shift.
So shift 2 is take 100% responsibility, where you take the first step. So in summary, with integrity, you have a foundation where what you say is what you do, or where you restore it. And with the second shift, you choose to set aside your problems initially, take 100% responsibility, make the first step to create a positive environment and to build goodwill in the relationship. So when you take 100% responsibility, the common myth is both partners need to be committed to saving a marriage. And while this seems to make sense, it's exactly the wrong approach to take, and I'll tell you why. Because someone must go first and choose 100%. So who's it going to be, you or your partner? The problem is that if you're both keeping score and each of you are responsible for 50%, then as soon as something goes wrong, most couples point the finger at their partner and try to change them. It's like one person says, well, stop nagging me. And the other one said, but you'd be home to help with the kids. The other one says, but I wouldn't have to nag you if you're home with the kids. You know, it just doesn't work. It just keeps on going on and on and on.
And it's kind of like a tug of war. And in a tug of war, you're right and your partner is dead wrong, and you lose sight of any other options. When you choose to take 100% responsibility and let go of that rope, instead of focusing on the problems and what's wrong, you can shift your focus to solutions. And most couples and even therapists get this dead wrong. They start with working with both of you. They work on communication strategies and conflict resolution. This hardly ever works. You need to start taking 100% responsibility, and you choose, because you're on this session, to take that first step.
Okay, so here's an example of a couple that I was working with. But initially I worked with John. So when Jennifer and John came in, they'd had a failed business. She had a daughter with anorexia. She had health problems. John, he loved playing golf. And really, he just avoided all the problems. They had all these issues going on. And so she withdrew from him. There was no intimacy. And because of that, he had emotional affairs and texting other women. And she just felt betrayed. And in the end, it just all got too much. She didn't know how to fix it anymore. And she just wanted a trial separation. However, John came along initially, and he insisted that they both make the changes. And he just couldn't get past this 50-50 thing. Well, she's got to stop criticising me, and then I'll get emotionally involved. And they just got stuck in gridlock. But anyway, then I started to work with Jenny, and she was the one who committed 100% to the process, with or without him. So I worked with her, and then she learned that whenever she criticised him, he would get defensive. That was their tiger turtle pattern. So she just stopped the criticism completely, because she understood that she had to commit to what she wanted. She really wanted a relationship that worked. It didn't work for her parents, but she wanted a relationship to work for her. And she wanted dates, and she wanted to go traveling together, and she wanted to do it with John. So once she shifted, this opened the way for John to change, and they really became close and connected again in a very short period of time.
Okay, so now we're at shift number 3, the tiger and the turtle. So now your words and your actions, they match, and you've decided you'll take the first step because you're the one listening to this. And this brings us to shift number 3, the tiger and the turtle, the patterns of connection and the patterns of conflict. And having been married now 33 years and worked with so many couples, I can say with certainty, you really need to understand the tiger-turtle pattern. So listen up. And there's a myth out there that you've fallen out of love or you just haven't met your soulmate yet. But the real problem that we see time and time again is that one partner is almost always like a turtle and the other one is like a tiger. And neither of you understand how this pattern affects your relationship. The very same qualities that connected you in the early days are now at the heart of your conflict. Unresolved tiger-turtle patterns are behind so many floundering marriages. See if you recognise any of these. One partner pursues and tries to resolve things, often with criticism and blame, and of course, that's the tiger. The other one becomes defensive, stonewalls, and withdraws into their shell. You've guessed it, that's the turtle. And the key to solving this is for couples to become aware of this conflict cycle, to break it without blaming or criticising each other, and instead to rebuild friendship, intimacy, and connection. And here's a case study of ourselves. And now, in the early days, before we had studied all of this and worked through all of this, Grant with the turtle would go into his shell and he wouldn't say anything when we had an issue.
No, it's definitely the turtle.
And so me being the tiger pursued, I wanted to solve it, trying to resolve things. So then Grant shuts down even further. He becomes angry, but he's not loud with his anger. He's quiet, he's passive, and he's not present. He's sulking. And of course, I become even more frustrated. I start nagging and become critical. And you've guessed it, this is a vicious cycle that goes round and round and round. And the key here is recognizing it and stopping this pattern. And that is what opens up the way for the next shift, where we can listen deeply and connect. But before we get to that next shift, I want to ask you, what about you and your partner? Can you see this vicious cycle at work? Can you see who's the tiger, who's the turtle? Because just about always we get together with our opposites. And how good are you at really managing these patterns right now? Be honest. How good are you at stopping the arguments? And again, I want you to think about a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is you're not very good at all, and 10 is you're like Einstein. Rate yourself as to how effective you are at understanding these patterns. Okay, now we're going to move on to the next shift.
Okay, so the next shift is the bridge from me to we. Now, most couples at this stage, after understanding shifts 1, 2, and 3, integrity, responsibility for the first step, the turtle tiger patterns, ask, how do I build intimacy with my partner when they were checked out? Now, remember that we first wanted to focus on problems that only one person commits, but then once you're committed and once you're connected and once you understand these patterns, now it's time to rebuild your connection.
Okay, and so this is where we go from me to we. Now, in relationships, you've probably heard the half-truth that men are from Mars and women are from Venus. However, that's only part of the problem. The real problem and the real truth is that every single human being lives in what we call our own separate world. We're all like aliens living on our own planets, and each of us sees the world through our own lens. We assume that our partner understands or should understand our world. Doesn't my way make sense? Isn't it the right way? It's all about me, as Garfield is saying over there. And the truth is, to save your marriage, you need to create a bridge into your partner's world. And to do this, you must move from me to we and cross the bridge to discover your partner's world. And in the modern world, we're mostly raised, especially in the Western world, to live in what we call a me world. It's all about me. But have you noticed how really close couples talk about we a lot? They make decisions and they plan holidays together. They talk to their friends in the context of we think this and we do that. Whereas couples that struggle to be close are always talking about me or you. You don't care about me and there is no we. The secret is turning the me and the you into we. So how do we cross this bridge? You cross the bridge when you leave your own world behind and start to really listen to your partner, as that cyclist is there on the bridge, leaving his own world, he's traveling across to the other side. But when you get this wrong, you filter everything through the lens of your own world, and you just don't get what your partner's really saying. When you get it right, there's absolutely no filter, nothing between you and what your partner's communicating to you. And that is when you really get that intimacy, that connection that I know you're looking for. This is so simple, but the caution here is it doesn't mean easy. And most therapists don't know this either. By crossing the bridge, you build a powerful new connection and you create a we world.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. So it's so important. And where do we learn to listen to each other? We don't learn it at school, and a lot of us didn't learn it from our parents, did we? So, okay, when Sam and Nicole first came to see us, then they literally sat at opposite ends of the couch. They didn't talk to each other at all. And when he got home from work, he was furious, and he would stomp around the house because Nicole left all the lights on again. The house was messy, and the whole place was chaos. But then when Sam crossed the bridge and listened deeply to Nicole for the very, very, very first time, he really understood her. And what he understood was that in her childhood, she'd been walking on eggshells, and she just really wanted to be free in her own house to develop her career, do what she wanted, and contribute equally to the marriage. And Sam was the first to choose 100% responsibility to change himself when he first came to see me. And then when Nicole saw the changes Sam had made, she just engaged fully in the process. She had some hope again. And she started to listen to him and understand his world, and understood as a child how he lived in a messy house with financial hardship. So it was no wonder that he just wanted her to turn the lights off to save money, and yet they were in financial hardship. And then he helped Nicole find her own career. And these little things, and they are only little things, but they're just crucial. And they were crucial to turn their marriage from the brink of financial collapse and divorce into a thriving relationship, and it only took 4 weeks to get the spark going again.
Awesome, thanks, Grant. And so now we get to our final crucial shift. So summarising where we're at, you have a relationship of integrity. You take 100% responsibility, and you choose to make that first step. You get the tiger turtle pattern of conflict and connection, and now you know how to cross the bridge. So here's the final crucial shift: invest in mentoring. So I ask you, what's the value to you of a happy, satisfying relationship? A marriage of lasting love. Now, most people would say it's priceless. So think about that for yourself. What is that value? But far too often, a great marriage wasn't role modeled by your parents. And even if your parents were great role models, your partner didn't come with a handbook. And many people make this mistake of a cross your fingers and hope approach, or they start talking to the exact wrong people. And that's like going to climb Mount Everest without a Sherpa. You just wouldn't do it, would you? So why would risk losing something as valuable as your marriage. Everyone should have a mentor. So a good marriage mentor will give you good ideas and make sure that you act on them. A great mentor will combine successful relationship experience, they've been there, they've done that, with a proven dynamic approach and cutting-edge research. And every month, we have couples completely turning their relationships around to create lasting love. So we say, get the best mentor out there. And I just want to say this is the most crucial shift, because while now you have all the information to recreate your relationship, there are just far too many traps out there that can trip you up. And so, like everything in this session, while it sounds really simple, anything that's to do with people isn't quite that simple. It's not easy. And what you need is a guide. You need a mentor. So get the best mentor that you can find.
Okay, so when Greg came to see us, Greg came in as the co-founder of a very successful technology company. But the thing is, success in business didn't equal success in relationships. He'd had 3 failed relationships, and now he was in his 4th, and he wanted to get it right. And he came in because he just found himself in the same controlling pattern. He was extremely jealous of his partner, and he just woke up one day and decided it was time to do things differently. He was in pain. He was literally in pain, trying to change and understand how to do it different. Now, Greg was typical of the statistics, where over 50% of first marriages fail, and then the stakes go up on their second and third marriages. In other words, the statistics get worse. He tried everything. He went to marriage counselling with all of his wives, previous wives, he'd read books, he'd done multiple courses, but nothing changed. And really what it needed was he needed to know not what his problems were, but he needed a blueprint and to understand what a successful marriage looked like, and then a mentor to be able to confront him with the patterns, the controlling patterns of behaviour that he just couldn't see for himself. He was too close to himself. So over 3 months, he was able to transform his old behaviours. He understood it. It was simple, but it wasn't easy, and he needed mentoring to create new habits to build lasting love.
Okay, so there you have it. The 5 crucial shifts. So now I'm going to share with you the biggest relationship pitfalls. Your foundation isn't built on integrity. You say you value your marriage, yet your words and your actions don't match. You're waiting for your partner so you can fix your marriage together. You don't have to wait. You can choose 100% responsibility and take the first step. Having a problem focus, that's like the glass half empty. This is a huge mistake, and it will only make matters worse. You need to set aside these problems initially and instead focus on connection. The tiger-turtle conflict pattern, you engage in conflict completely unaware of these hidden patterns that destroy marriages as surely as a tornado. Focusing on yourself. You need to go from a me to a we world by building a bridge into your partner's world. Going it alone. You don't have to, and neither should you. You need a great mentor, a mentor with the skills and the experience to help you fast-track a loving, lasting marriage. But we know that you won't fall into these pitfalls because you have the shifts.
Okay, so let's go right back to the beginning. Today we promised you would discover the 5 steps to save your marriage, even if your partner is checked out, moved out, or doesn't want to work things out. We promised a simple strategy to dodge the disaster of divorce, to save thousands. And the average cost of divorce is over $20,000, and the fallout for the kids, let alone losing half your assets, and build a strong foundation that can overcome any challenge. Why therapy is the exact wrong approach, focusing on past problems, and the new way we've designed and tested that transforms relationships. The only rock-solid foundation for your marriage that will restore trust and create lasting closeness and connection. And we promised how to disengage from the vicious cycle of conflict and stop walking on eggshells, sweeping things under the carpet to build more friendship and love. And we promised how to create a crystal clear plan of action with the exact steps to build a thriving relationship quickly in less than 8 weeks. So our big promise to you is a proven strategy to create lasting love.
So what you need to win? The 5-step game plan to save your marriage and create lasting love. So here you have it again visually, with integrity, the foundation, smack bang in the middle. Then you take 100% responsibility and make that first step. You understand and manage the tiger-turtle conflict patterns. You build the bridge and go from a me to a we world. And then the crucial final shift, you get with a great mentor to help you, guide you on the way. Now, take away even one of these shifts and you'll most likely not make it. That's why we say mentoring is the most important, because the guide will help you, they'll help you be accountable. And these 5 shifts are a proven success system, our recipe for success, if you like. The secrets to the flourishing and longevity of our own partnership, and the secrets that we've shared with many, many other couples to create lasting love.
Okay, so now you have a choice. You can stay stuck and frustrated in an unhappy marriage, or you can take action to save your relationship and create lasting love. Do you want to have a marriage where you feel trust, love, friendship, and 100% connection with your partner? I certainly do. Now, if you say yes, then we can help you. And how can we help? Well, my team and I, with Christine, we've set aside some time over the next week to speak with you personally about how you can apply these ideas. And this process will transform your relationship, and it can, and other relationships, and it can change yours too. So it's time to realize you can make a difference on your own. All it takes is for you to take that first step. All it takes is for you to have courage and faith, and we are here to do the rest. We're here to help, and it will change everything, I can promise you. So what we're going to do is we're going to get on the phone with you for around 45 minutes, and on the call, we'll help you get crystal clear on 3 things, like what's going wrong, what's the key challenges in your relationship at the moment. And then we're going to work with you on a crystal clear vision, so you've got a crystal clear plan to save your marriage and create lasting love. And then we're going to work on a specific strategy for action with the exact steps you need to get started. And the cost of this is absolutely free.
But there's a catch. This isn't for everyone. Here's who this is for. You're a successful high achiever, absolutely committed to saving your marriage. You're resourceful and you're ready to take action. You're willing and able to take that first step, and you can make the decision on your own. As we said at the beginning, it's no good if you're waiting for your partner to make a decision. And if there's a serious addiction or abuse issues in your relationship, this is not for you either.
Okay, so here's why we're doing this. Our mission, and this is what we love to do, is to support couples to save their marriages and create lasting love. This is our thing. Now, if you want us to help you, and if we think it's a good fit, we may invite you to become one of the new clients we'll take on this month. So if we work together, we're going to put you through the exact same program we put our successful couples through. The curriculum is designed to help you transform your relationship in just 8 weeks. It's simple, but it's not easy. So we're going to be there as a guide so you can save your marriage and building lasting love and connection. So if you want to book a call with us, then go to arahaleadership.com/apply. Now, spaces are limited. There's only so many people we can see, and there's a lot of people on this webinar, and so sign up now. So just click on the link, and this will take you to our booking page, and you'll see all the available times. So just grab whichever time works best for you. And after that, you'll be taken to a really short application. There's just 5 questions or so. Fill it in quickly, and we'll get on the call with you. And it'll be absolutely the best 45 minutes you've spent working on your relationship. I can promise you that. You know, we don't learn this at school. We don't learn this at home. It's taken us 36 years across therapy, our own relationship with our own mentors, and investing in ourselves. And we can do the same for you. So if you can't see a button, there's also a button that you can click on the right-hand side. Then just minimize your screen. Go to arahaleadership.com/apply and sign up. So today we've shared with you the 5 secrets to creating lasting love in your marriage that we've used with many, many couples just like you, and we can help make this happen for you too. This is what we do every day. I'm Grant Watty.
And I'm Christine Watty.
And thank you so much for being on this webinar today. Go to arahaleadership.com/apply, put it in your web browser, and speak with you soon.
Bye for now.